This is a different kind of YouTube post for me because I'm not giving any education. I'm not trying to show you anything. I'm not trying to vlog my life or whatever it is that I normally post. I just feel really compelled to talk about my life and this year and what like my whole entire life has looked like up until this year. Because I've met a lot of people this year and I've done a lot of things, and it seems like no one really relates to, like, I guess how I grew up. And I feel like I grew up a very normal way that a lot of you watching this would have grown up. Like, life wise, I like, if the bill was over $100 or so, like, my family wasn't gonna eat there. And not that we didn't have money, like, they made money, they paid the bills, we had decent cars, we had a nice house, stuff like that, but we never had like enough money to splurge. It wasn't like we were gonna go buy the new iPhone when it came out. We weren't gonna get the new MacBook. We weren't gonna go eat at Nobu or whatever the fuck. We took a vacation like once a year, like just very average. And in this year, I personally have paid for or even eaten at restaurants where the dinner costs thousands of dollars, like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for dinner. And like, I can pay that, but I still just don't get it. I don't feel comfortable because I'm like, financially, is it gonna kill me? No. Financially, doesn't matter. Not really for my income, and my age, but it just doesn't sit right. And I think I've met a lot of people over this year. I've been in a lot of rooms. I've been to a lot of places in the country where I see the life and the lifestyle that everyone online has or wants. And I just really want to emphasize that it's not all that. Like, and when I say not all that, I don't mean it's not good. I mean from a materialistic standpoint. Whether, for instance, whether you go eat a steak from Longhorn, which is like what I grew up on, or you go get a steak from Marcel in Atlanta, which is $1,000 for that dinner. It's just food at the end of the day. And I think it's important that you remember what kind of lifestyle you lived growing up before you had a chance to build your own life, so that you could understand what you value, right? My values, my morals, and everything like that hasn't changed with the amount of money I've made. And it's not gonna change. I really can believe that. Like, I used to be so big on the materialistic things, right? Like, I was like, when I was 18, I want to get a fast car, I want to get an expensive car, I want to get a Rolex, I want to do all this stupid shit, right? And so I buy an $80,000 car when I'm able to afford one. Boom, I have it. Did nothing for my ego, did nothing for my morality, did nothing for my drive, my passion. It did nothing, like, at all. And that's because I realized that I don't value those things as important as other people do. You know, so there's this type of person who grew up just like me, and then there's another type of person who grew up just like me. This one thinks that those type of things in the world are, I don't even know the word. I'm just gonna say important. They're gonna say that it's important. If a guy pulls up in a Lamborghini, this person's gonna ooh and ah at that guy before that guy has even said one word. Whether his daddy bought him that car, whether he scammed people to get that car, you don't even know. They immediately associate that with some sort of level of importance. And then there's this person, which I feel like I've become more of this person. You can pull up in a Lamborghini, and I really don't care what car you're driving. I care what you say with your mouth, how you talk to people, and what you value. Because if your values and how you treat people and what you say, if you don't have knowledge, don't align with that car, then that car is pointless to me. It's pointless for you to be driving that car. What do I value? I value being in shape. I value good health. I value friends and family. I value Jesus. I value God over everything. And if you pull up in a Lamborghini and you're fat, you don't follow God, you don't treat people well, and you just value money over everything, I don't even respect you. I can't respect you. I don't care how much money you have. I think it's important that I'm sharing this because I get people that swipe up, I get people that text me, I get people that want to get put on, I get people that see where I'm at in Miami, in LA, wherever, and they're not jealous. They're just, you can tell they want to be there, in the same room. And I'm like, half the time I'm like, bro, if you want to be in that room because you value those things, which is eating $1,000 for dinner, driving a Lambo, riding in a Ferrari, going to the beach and buying a $500 cabana, like shit like that. If you want to be there just to say you're there, you have it all wrong, and you probably will never get there. I'm being genuinely honest. Versus if you can sit there and say, I want to be in that room because I want to learn from other people, and I want to see what type of life that I want to live for myself and build for myself. I was talking to my girlfriend about this the other day, and I gave her the analogy of like when I was a freshman and sophomore and junior in football, like I played football through my whole life, and I played at one of the best high schools in the country, Buford High School. I was one of the best players on the team. My sophomore and junior year, I started on varsity, started as a 15-year-old, but I was so quiet. I remember like letting the seniors every year just do their version of leadership. And I took notes every year. What did they do wrong? And what did they do right? What do I like about what they did? What do I not like about what they did? And then when I was a senior, I created my own way. I was like, I'm going to lead, and I'm going to do it this way. And I'm going to do these things that, this person did before. And I'm not going to do these things that this person did before. And that year, my team won the state championship. We were ranked like 5th in the country. We succeeded. It was successful. But you can translate that into life. And I've really done a good job this year of analyzing that about other people. I've made a little bit of money. My best friend makes $500,000 a month. A month. It would take my family growing up 6 years to make $500,000. He made it in 1 month, every month. And there's a lot of things that he does really well that I admire, that I like to implement into my life. And there are some other things that I disagree with that I, again, will refrain from my life. Does that mean we can't be best friends? No. But it just says that you can meet people and you don't have to be that person. You don't have to live like that person. You don't have to be that person. You don't need to portray something that you're not. And I think it's important that if you're young, when I say young, I mean under 30 years old. 30 years old is still young, but yeah, under that, you have the freedom and the willingness to analyze everyone's life around you, whether they're successful or not, because that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. They can be a janitor and teach you something that you would have never learned from the billionaire. It's important that you analyze these people and analyze what do you like about them and what do you not like about them, and then now intertwine that into your life and your purpose and your movement. Because that's the beautiful thing about life, right? If you don't like the way someone does something, then you don't have to fucking do it that way, right? If you like the way someone does it, then do that, but put your own spin on it. Because why? Because you're unique. God made you to be unique in a different way that he made them. So I'm kind of rambling, but I felt compelled to show you guys that the world that you seek and the life that you seek, number one, may not be what you think it is. And number two, doesn't even align with what you value and what you morally want and to have for yourself. Does it align with your final mission? When you're on your deathbed, if your dream wish was to, my whole life, all I wanted was a Lamborghini, then chase it every day. If that's all you genuinely want and that's what you value in this world, then chase it every day. But if you want to be on your deathbed and say, wow, I'm glad I helped so many people. I'm glad I followed the Lord. I'm glad I didn't fuck someone over. I'm glad I did all these things that I said I was going to do, then chase that every day. See, the thing about success is people they look at it as basically, it's a billboard on the highway. You see it. I know I can get there, but how? Because it looks so far away. And that's because you have this full-on vision, but you haven't narrowed it down of what's specific to you. You're taking information from TikTok, Instagram, your influencers that you follow, and you're putting this massive vision, which is all the things that they value, but what do you really value? What do you truly want for yourself? I'll tell you mine, for instance, and it's changed a lot over my young life, and it'll probably change more, but like today, I want to serve God any way I can. Number one, I want to be a servant, and I want to get into heaven, and I want to live and refrain from sin as much as I possibly can. Number two, I want to make a lot of money. I want to leave a purpose. And it's not that I crave money. I've been dealing with that. I'm saying I want to have a movement and a purpose that's so big that making a lot of money, it would be inevitable. Like my movement and my purpose is so large that it's inevitable for me to make money. Number 3, I want to have a full, healthy, big family that I am connected with, right? Growing up, I didn't always have connection with my family. There's a difference between being family and like being blood. And you can be connected without being blood, and then you cannot be connected with being blood. So my main goal for my life, number 3, obviously, is to have that, is to raise children where I'm very hands-on, and to have a beautiful family, and to provide for them and give them a life that maybe I or you didn't have or didn't get the opportunity to have. And other than that, that's really it. That's really it for me. I have 6 figures, chasing 7 figures. I can have any Rolex out there, except for the ones that are $400,000, $500,000. But yeah, I can have any of those watches. I can go buy an AP. I don't care anymore. What is that going to do for me morally? It's not going to bring me closer to God. It's not going to make me more money, because it's not. That's bullshit. When someone says, oh yeah, that watch is going to bring you so many connects, that's cap, bro. If you're a smart enough human being, you can get a connection with anybody by the way you talk and communicate with people. For instance, I'm meeting an investor tomorrow who is around my age, and him and his family have done hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate in Georgia. He's not meeting with me because of any watch I have, any car, anything materialistic. He's meeting because we've had a conversation and he knows that I bring value to the table. That's it. So I think it's important that you realize what it is you want and how bad you want it, and then intertwine everyone's, takes on life and what you like and don't like about it, and then move that into your purpose, your movement. Because it's gotten to a point where it's really, really jaded for a lot of people, and some people feel hopeless, and some people feel like they have no idea what to do. Well, congratulations, you're young, you're not going to know what to do. There's people that are 34 years old who are rich that don't really know what they're doing out here. They just made a lot of money. You're not going to know everything, so stop trying to act like you're going to figure it out one day and it's just going to click. It's not. So like I said, I felt compelled to make this from a point of sharing what I've learned and what I think is valuable. And even with relationships, right? Guys talk about finding girls these days, and they want to claim that it's so hard to find a high value woman, and that, all these girls are hoes and they're used and this, that, and the other. But what kind of guy are you? Be honest. What kind of guy are you? Because I know this, bro. I've done drugs. I partied all the time. I've gotten with countless women. I was the hoe. Like, I've been bad, bro. And I never attracted a high value woman during that time, because that's who I was. Why would you attract something that's better than you? Think about that. Like, seriously, you're basically saying you want a girl that's on your level. Well, if your level is going to the bars every weekend, not following the Lord, doing drugs, sleeping with hella girls, that's what you're gonna get. Like that's so like obvious, and y'all can't seem to comprehend that. And now I'm in the most healthy relationship I've ever been in. We care for each other. We trust the Lord. We follow the Lord. She's high value. She pushes me to be a better person. She doesn't bug me. She doesn't make me worse. She doesn't make me splurge my money. She gets it, and she gets me. And why did we meet, and why did it work? Because we were both willing to become high value people by ourselves, and in return, we naturally crossed each other's paths. And that relationship shit goes with everything in your life, bro. Everything. If you want something of value, you have to be equal to that. No guy in a Lambo ever got there by luck. It was some sort of value he provided into the world, even if he's a fat ass. Some sort of intellectual value, I'm sure, that he provided that got him that money, that got him that car. So when it comes to girls, your life, business, whatever you want to do, you got to understand your expectations and your aspirations have to align with what level you're at in life. I didn't get on a yacht in Miami until I had $100,000. And it wasn't that I didn't know the right people or like I couldn't afford it or shit like that. Nah, that's just how the world works, bro. I never went to LA until I had $100,000. Not because I couldn't have bought a plane ticket, not because it just life naturally happens when you start to level up. Those things align with you leveling up. Your life won't level up until you level up. You're never gonna get that high value girl until you are high value. God's never gonna speak to you until you start reaching out to him and submitting to him. And that brings me to one of my biggest things I posted on my Instagram story yesterday. Ego. Bro, ego. I dated this girl in high school, right? And she low-key did me dirty with another guy in our school. And that like was the first time my ego got shattered, that I understood that like I wasn't the shit, if I'm being honest, and I couldn't, win everybody over. And then for the next 3 to 4 years of my life, I just did nonsense, drugs, party, whatever. And it wasn't because of that, but it was just my ego couldn't handle that. Number one, life's a competition and that other people can win if you don't slack. And number two, I was not willing to hear anybody out or hear anyone's point of view. I posted on my story, the only thing between you and everything that you've ever wanted in this life is ego. What do I mean by that? Your unwillingness to take advice or even seek advice is why you don't have any knowledge. Your unwillingness to do that bullshit job, like sweep the floors or stack the shelves, is the reason you can't save money to start your own business. Your ego is in the way of everything. Your unwillingness to go up to the pretty girl because you immediately think that, she's a hoe or she's going to reject you or whatever it is. That's your ego getting in the way of that relationship that you've said you've been craving for. Ego is literally the downfall of every man who wants something because they're not willing to put their pride and ego to the side and just fucking learn. Bro, I am successful. Genuinely. At the age of 22, I had 6 figures and I make 30K a month. And I'm going to do that for a long time. I should be the biggest egotistical motherfucker on this planet, but I've met people who are doing it better and beyond bigger than me. Way more money, way more influence, this, that, and the other. And instead of me sitting there riding my high horse, I understand that they're doing something better than me. I need to drop my ego and ask this person and listen to this person and show respect to this person. And in return, I got all the information I needed to level up, because you're not above anyone and you're not below anyone. You are just you. Everyone is equal. We all breathe the same. We all bleed the same. Listen to people, ask people, and seek advice. I was telling my friend this the other day. He lives in Texas. He was calling me about he's going to start an insurance internship, and he just asked me questions about business. And I told him, I was like, bro, you'd be surprised. Like, he was asking how hard it is to network. I was like, you'd be surprised if you just go up to a random old man. They could be poor for all you care, because that guy could teach you something about life that the rich guy can't. Like I've said multiple times in this video, I have never found it where you go up to an older person and ask to get lunch, a phone call, etc., that they've ever said no. Older people love pouring into young people. It's a little bit prideful for them because they get to brag about what they know and their life and their experiences and this like that. But at the end of the day, they don't have to do that, and they're doing it for you. So that's a way that, you can drop ego and listen to anybody, and you can learn from anybody. I'll give you an example, and I've used this example many times throughout my platforms. There's this janitor at this Gold's Gym I go to. He's probably 55, older black man. He's from Harlem, New York. That's Craig, that boy Craig. And he's autistic, but he's like 6'5", bro. He's big, like big dude. But he's autistic. He doesn't speak well, but dude, every time I see him, it's a fist bump, it's a dap, it's a hug, it's how was your day, bro? What are you hitting today? How's it been? I haven't seen you in a minute. And we just have this conversation back and forth, right? I have more money than that guy. I physically look better than that guy. Like, I have better attributes than that guy will ever have. And you know what he taught me? He taught me that doesn't fucking matter if you don't treat people well. And that the way that dude makes me feel every day is better than any dollar amount I could ever get, in a wire to my bank account. That dude taught me something. Someone who societally is below me taught me something about life. And you mean to tell me that you are so egotistical that you can't fucking listen to other people and actually take their word? That's why I say it's the difference between everything you want and everything you are is ego, is in the middle of that. Once you fucking drop that, I promise your life will get a lot easier and the things that you want will start to happen for you. It's really mind-boggling how lost people are today. And then the last point I really feel like I have to get off my chest is religion, bro. I've had a long journey with God. I've known who God is since I was 5 years old. Did I always go to church? No. My family did not take me to church like that. Did I always follow the path of the Lord? No. I've done drugs. I partied a lot. Partied in every big city in the country. I've done a lot of bad things to people. I've been rude to people. I've pretty much lived the opposite for a long time in my life. But I've always known what's right and what's wrong. And then 2 years ago, I had another kind of come to Jesus, metaphorically. I got close with God again and understood it for the first time of what that actually looks like and what a relationship looks like with him. And then I fell back into the pit of partying in Miami, doing drugs, just like shit like that, bro. And then I got serious about my business, did the whole business world, bought that car, lived very worldly is what I'm getting at. And then in this past year, I've had both. I've had worldly success. I've had business success. I've had materialistic things. And now I really get what it feels like to walk with God. And if you don't think that the Charlie Kirk event should bring you closer to God, I don't know what would tell you that. It was very visual and obvious that life can be taken from you like that. And if that doesn't scare you from where you sit right now, then I really don't know what would, because that scares the hell out of me. And stuff like that is so scary. Because it makes it very apparent really quick that the Lambo doesn't matter, the Rolex doesn't matter, nothing matters except being right with God. Because when you see those videos and you watch that and you see, wow, that was a brutal video, and one day he's here and the next day he's dead, what's your first thought? Is, oh, if he died that quick, I could die that quick, and I'm not ready to die. I don't know where I'm going if I die. That thought should drive you crazy, like insane. You should freak out. You should seek God. You should be on your knees praying for forgiveness every day. Because we are never going to be perfect. And the only thing that you can have in this world that nobody else can take from you is your relationship with God and your faith. Lambo, someone can steal it. Your money, someone can embezzle it. Your watch, someone can take that shit right off your hand. Your girl, someone can take her. The only thing that you can have in this world that not a soul can take is the relationship with you and Jesus Christ, your Savior. So it's important you get serious about it. Because you can get everything you want out of your life. You dropped your ego. You seeked information. You did the hard stuff. You built a business. You made millions of dollars. You bought the car. You had the family. You lived in the beach house. You did it all, right? If you don't have a relationship with God, then why does it matter? What kind of legacy is that? So you lived abundantly for 30 years on earth and then traded that in for eternity in heaven? The math doesn't math for me. Eternity, 30 years on earth. Seriously. So get right with God. Understand that it's very crucial. I tell this to other people, I don't think our generation lives to see 80. I think the rapture happens in the next 30 years. I don't know when it's going to be. The way the world has gotten to a point, I think it will happen in your lifetime. And it should scare you that right now, if you heard the bells ring and you heard the trumpet sound, you should know whether you're going or not. And if you don't know, then you're probably not. You need to take that more seriously. And once you take that serious, and you understand what it's like to have a relationship with Jesus, and you proclaim that to the world that he's your Lord and Savior, life and the stress gets a lot less serious. A lot less things matter anymore. APs, Lambos, that doesn't matter anymore. Is it okay to strive for that? Of course, as long as it's not your number one priority. Your number one priority should be the Lord and helping people and following Him. If you can't follow Him, you can't do anything. And what's the good in having everything if you can't follow Him? So I felt super compelled to make this video. Haven't made a YouTube video in a long time. I'm good. Business has been good. My life's good, to be honest. And it's been rough for like 4 years. But this has been weighing heavy on me, and I hope y'all can understand this, learn something from it, and take it for what it is. I'm not lying. I'm not selling you anything. I'm just being honest. Too many people today try to portray something they're not. I'm trying to show you what it really is from someone who grew up here and has lived here. Neither really matter without God. Follow yours, do yours, drop your ego, chase your movement, follow God, put Him first, and I promise everything you want will definitely and most certainly work out in the future.